All right, we need to spend a minute talking about what PlayStation is up to with their PlayStation Plus strategy. So, this week, PlayStation announced that, hey, guess what, guys? We're going to be able to stream PlayStation 5 games now. Isn't that exciting? Oh my gosh, 4K PlayStation 5 games streaming for PlayStation Plus premium subscribers. Waka waka doo doo, yeah. Oh, but wait, only for PlayStation 5 owners. Now, this is a weird strategy Sony has had for a while with their streaming, especially their PlayStation, since the relaunch of PlayStation Plus Premium. So, if you're not in the know, you need to be a subscriber to their highest tier of PlayStation Plus Premium, which is now $180 a year, just a little bit cheaper than Game Pass month to month. But with them doing this, they're giving you a selection of movies you've mostly never heard of. Oh boy. And then they're, of course, doing this classics game library. And the big one, I think, for a lot of cloud gaming fans like yourself is, all right, kitty cat, calm down, calm down. The big one is streaming. So the thing is with this, though, is with their streaming platform, it's not like other streaming platforms. It's not like GeForce Now. It's not like Xbox or how Stadia worked or Boosteroid. You can only stream PlayStation games on a PlayStation or through their PC app, which is mostly trash. The streaming quality through the PlayStation is pretty good. Not great, but good. And through the app, it leaves a little bit to be desired, although fine in a pinch, you could say. But Sony really doesn't seem to want to support the app, and it doesn't seem to want to support web apps the way many streaming services do. It seems with their success, the way they've had it, of course, with the PlayStation 4 selling, what, 130 million off the top of my head? And the PlayStation 5 kind of following that trajectory. Sony seems to want to, what's the word? Delay, let's say, the progress or delay the transition, let's say, of gaming to the cloud. Sony really wants you to buy a box. They really want you to just buy a physical PlayStation, and then they'll give you all the tech and services you want. This is kind of backwards strategy, and it's not very forward thinking the way Microsoft is. But then again, Microsoft is a services company. Microsoft really wants you to do everything in the cloud, and they've been pushing that for really the last 10 plus years. Sony has not. Sony is a electronics manufacturer. Sony makes stuff, and so it's deep in the, let's say, the genetics of Sony to want to sell you a box through a retailer or otherwise. And that's the way they've done their business for, gosh, what they've been around since the 40s, I think, something like that. Don't quote me. Anyway, that's why they've always done it with their TV business, right? And their camera business, which is huge. And of course, the PlayStation business, let's not forget. And of course, they were, the CD and Blu-ray business that, of course, they pioneered. All that's kind of retail boxed stuff. And they've done well with that. And they're really pushing back against it because PlayStation is their biggest brand. It's their biggest product. It's the most profitable arm of Sony right now, at least. And so destroying that income model that they have is not in their best interest. At least that's the way they perceive it. Now, old Bleefly Flaw's opinion, I think they're digging themselves an early grave if they don't get in on this cloud business, because gaming, it's going to move to the cloud. I mean, even in 5 years' time, I really think Microsoft, these recent leaks with Microsoft, them maybe suggesting that their next console is going to have a huge focus on the cloud. Now, they did brag about that with the Xbox One back in the day, right? And it was a little early for all that. but cloud gaming has come a very long way, and it doesn't seem so far-fetched now. And even listening to people and podcasts and YouTubers talk about it, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like there's so much pushback against the cloud anymore. So times they are a changing. And by 2028, when the next Xbox would supposedly launch, it having a cloud gaming focus, or maybe just being a cloud platform to some extent, makes a lot more sense. And when it comes down to it, and Microsoft having a cloud that you can buy into for $0 versus Sony launching their PlayStation 6 at what, $500-$600, the value proposition is obvious. And here's the funny thing too, cloud gaming has been growing in Japan, which is a market where Sony has had a stranglehold over Microsoft. But Game Pass in Japan is growing. Game Pass in Europe doing quite well. And of course, in America, not too shabby either. So cloud gaming from Microsoft seems to be working in all kinds of territories that the traditional Xbox was not working in. And as they grow and they kind of become the identity of cloud gaming, and that is what often happens when you're the first to market, suddenly when PlayStation starts offering cloud gaming, they're going to have to be working against this perception of being second place or being second to market. That's to say nothing of the technology. And of course, with these streaming services, they rely heavily on user data. And every customer just kind of being a sort of a glorified beta user, right? So the more users the service has, the better it gets with time. Sony doesn't seem to be betting on that. They don't necessarily want users. They do want PlayStation Plus premium subscribers, no doubt. But the way they're focusing their cloud gaming, them kind of forcing it, compacting it to being limited to a box, that is not going to give them the data and the user base that a service like that would need to grow in quality. Now, they have made some hires recently to buttress their cloud gaming efforts, and sure, every little bit helps, but data, that's the big thing Sony needs that Sony's not getting, that Microsoft is. This isn't going to hurt Sony in 2023. Not going to hurt Sony in 2024. But come 2028, Sony may be paying for being so closed-minded about the future of gaming. And of course, as all these things develop, you'll get the news from CloudDosage. Stick around. We'll see you soon.